A true story of workplace betrayal, professional backstabbing, and the most satisfying revenge you will ever hear. A loyal and hardworking employee was publicly humiliated, falsely accused, and professionally destroyed by a jealous coworker who had spent 40 years building a reputation he no longer deserved and was willing to lie, cheat, and betray anyone who threatened it. I work for a large technology company in the UK doing software support. I have been with this company for about 10 years now, and other than what I'm about to tell you, I genuinely love my job. When I joined the team, I was not exactly a rookie. I had 7 years of industry experience behind me. I knew my craft. What I did not know was the specific internal systems of this particular company, and that is a completely normal learning curve for anyone starting somewhere new. Our team had about 30 people spread across the world. Every single one of them was warm, helpful, and genuinely invested in each other's success, except Shane. Shane was what you would call the team legend. He had been with the company for nearly 40 years. He was 5 years from retirement. He knew every legacy system inside out and backwards. When you were truly stuck on something obscure and nothing else worked, you called Shane, and 9 times out of 10 he had the answer. In the beginning, I found him genuinely impressive. I had no reason not to. I respected his experience, and I said so openly. My closest friend on the team was a woman named Mel. She was around Shane's age and experience level, and in my honest opinion was every bit as knowledgeable as he was, just far more generous about sharing it. About 2 years into my time with the company, everything changed. The business decided to move in a new direction. A whole new set of applications was being introduced, and the entire team was trained on them from scratch. For the first time since joining, I was on completely equal footing with everyone else, including Shane. Nobody had more experience with this new software than anyone else, because nobody had any experience with it at all. I saw this as an opportunity, and I threw myself into it completely. I studied, I practiced, I volunteered for every case that involved the new systems. Slowly but surely, I became the person the team turned to when the new software gave them trouble. Shane wanted no part of it. He buried himself deeper into the legacy tools he had always known, and showed almost no interest in learning the new systems. In team meetings, you could see it happening in real time, the slow erosion of his status. The questions that used to go to him were now going to me. The commendations that used to have his name on them were starting to have mine, and Shane noticed. The sniping started quietly. If I was a few minutes late to a team meeting because a customer call had run over, he would make a point of interrupting whatever was being discussed to announce my arrival with something cutting and sarcastic. On email chains that included him and our manager, he would reply with complaints or observations that had absolutely nothing to do with the topic at hand, just noise designed to make me look bad. I went to Mel about it. I told her honestly that I had no idea what his problem was. She said she would keep her ears open. Then came the day that changed everything. A major system failure hit the company, the kind that, if not resolved quickly, would have resulted in millions in penalty fines. Our manager split the team into groups to attack the problem from different angles, and she paired me with Shane. I was not thrilled, but I was a professional. I got on the call with him, and we started working through it together. It became clear very quickly that Shane knew absolutely nothing about the new application at the center of the outage. Every single basic task I asked him to check required me to walk him through it step by step. Eventually, I just shared my screen and told him to watch what I was doing and why. I went through the system methodically, log after log, layer after layer. I explained everything out loud as I worked through it, and eventually, I found it. A recent patch we had deployed was the culprit. At that exact moment, Shane dropped off the call. I assumed it was a connection issue, so I kept working. I documented everything clearly and prepared my notes to present to the wider group. I rejoined the main incident call feeling calm and confident. I had found the problem, I had the solution ready, I had done my job. What I walked back into was a disaster. In the minutes I had been away, Shane had returned to the main call and addressed over 100 people, including several layers of management well above our team, and told them that the outage had been caused by a deployment error I had made. He told them that he had identified the correct fix and instructed me to implement it immediately, and that I had refused. Every word of that was a lie. He knew where the problem was because I had literally shown him on my screen while explaining it in real time. He knew the fix because I had told him what I was planning to do. He used my work and my words and presented them as his, and then buried me with them. Despite my manager fighting for me, I was disciplined and handed a verbal warning. Shane received a formal commendation for steering the company away from a major disaster. Mel called me not long after. She told me that Shane had been bragging to her about putting the smart-mouthed new guy in his place. His real grievance was that he felt disrespected by my growing reputation with the new software. He felt I was taking something from him. I sat with that for a while, and then I had an idea. I pinged Shane on our messaging platform and told him I wanted to talk. He responded cheerfully. Of course he did. He thought he had won. I called him and immediately announced that I was recording the call. The platform displayed a notification to all participants confirming this. As expected, he was careful and measured. He denied everything, said he was sorry I felt this way, said he would need to speak to our manager about my attitude. I said, "Wait 1 second." I turned off the visible recording function. Then I told him quietly that the platform was no longer recording and that he knew exactly what he had done to me. His entire demeanor changed in an instant. He told me he had every right to put me in my place. He said in this industry you respect the people who have been there longer than you. He said he would do exactly the same thing again without hesitation. I told him he was a fossil who had stopped doing any real work years ago and was simply coasting toward retirement on a reputation he no longer deserved. He told me he had a couple of years left and he would be damned if he was going to exhaust himself learning new software for the sake of some ambitious newcomer. I asked him if he had ever heard of OBS. He had not. I suggested he look it up. Then I hung up on him. Within minutes, the messages started arriving. Shane had realized what OBS was, open-source recording software that operates completely independently of whatever platform you're using. There had been no notification, there had been no warning. The second conversation, the real one, had been captured in full. He begged me not to use it. He pleaded. He explained everything he stood to lose. I thought about the verbal warnings sitting on my record for something I did not do. I thought about him standing in front of 100 people and dismantling my reputation with my own work. I remembered him laughing about it to Mel afterwards. I remembered that he had made his choices freely and with full awareness of what he was doing and what was at stake. He planted every seed of what followed. I am still at the company. I am still the person the team calls when the new software gives them trouble, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that I will never, not once, treat a new colleague the way Shane treated me. If there's any legacy worth keeping from all of this, it is that one. So what do you think? Did he go too far, or did Shane completely deserve everything that happened to him? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you have a story of betrayal and revenge, whether it happened to you or someone you know, send it to us at burnsend@gmail.com. We'd love to feature your story on this channel. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a story.